Hi, this is Alice Pollock. This is my book, The Darkness Before Dawn. I am the author, Alice Cangemi Pollock. This is chapter 4. If you've not heard the prologue and chapters 1 through 3, please find those videos before you listen to chapter 4. I'm sitting in my favorite spot in my backyard. The sun is going down, so this will probably be my last chapter to read right now. But I've been enjoying it. I hope you enjoy it too. It's called Turner. Yesterday was lonely. It was like when Jared was in school. He left to go on a fishing trip with his daddy and will be gone for a few days. I had to play without Jared all day. Graham played checkers with me for a while. I watched some TV shows, read some books, and did some coloring. But nothing is as much fun without Jared. I don't want to stay home again today. I walk outside to the pond, but it's just not the same place without him. I don't want to fish or crawfish without him because he usually does most of the work while I just catch them. And really, just being with Jared is what makes fishing fun. Without him, it would just be boring. I walk past the pond to the backyard of the burnt house to see how high I can get myself on the swing without Jared. When I get closer to the swings, I see a boy on the tire swing I've never seen before. He's older than me, really tall, with very white skin, dark brown eyes, and dark brown hair that hangs in his face and over his neck. I stop. He sees me and says, "Hi there, what are you doing here? Are you lost?" "No, I was just coming to swing," I tell him. "Oh, did you want to swing on the tire swing?" he says, jumping off and pushing it towards me. "No, I like the wood swing," I say as I stop and look up at him. He is really tall, taller than most grown-ups. "Do you know the people who owns this house?" he asks. "No, I live behind here through the woods that way," I say as I point back towards my house. "Well, go ahead and swing. My name is Turner. What's your name?" he asks as he jumps back on the tire. "I'm Dawn, and my best friend is Jared, but he's gone fishing with his daddy this week," I tell him. I climb up on the swing and start moving my legs front and back. Jared makes it look really easy, but no matter how hard I do it, I'm just not moving very fast. Turner hops off the tire again and comes over in front of me while I keep trying to get it going. "Would you like for me to give you a push?" he asks. "Yes, please," I tell him. Jared usually pushes me to get me started, and then I can keep myself going for a while. He steps behind me, grabs the swing in his hands, and pulls me back really far and high in the air, back above his head, and then drops me. I fall really fast to the front, and it feels funny in my tummy, and I like it. He does that a few more times, and I'm going really high, higher than I've ever gone before. "There, that should hold you for a while," he says, and walks around me back to the tire swing. "So, how long have you lived out here?" he asks. "I've lived out here my whole life," I tell him. "I've never seen you around the neighborhood. Did you just move here?" "No, I'll probably just be staying a week or two. My mom may even come for me before that. I'm staying with Uncle Jesse, 2 houses that way, in the blue house on the corner," he says, pointing. "There's not really much to do out here, is there? I live in an apartment with a swimming pool, basketball court, playground, and lots of kids my age around to play with. We have stores, fast food places, and a movie theater all within walking distance to my place." "Well, then why did you leave your place to come stay here for so long?" I ask, because his place sounds fun. I'm starting to slow down, so he walks back over and starts pushing me really high again. It's really kind of complicated, but the short version is that my parents are getting a divorce. My mom's having a pretty rough time and is staying with her sister for a while until she gets better. She needs some time to herself, so my uncle said I could stay with him while my parents get things sorted out. Where's your dad? Can't you stay with him? I asked. That's complicated too. Boy, you're an inquisitive little thing, aren't you? How old are you anyway? He asked, wrinkling his nose at me. I'm 6, but I'll be 7 at the end of the summer. What does inquisitive mean? And how old are you? I'm 12. I'll be 13 next month. I'm going into 8th grade. What grade are you in? You seem pretty smart and feisty to be so little. I'm going into 2nd grade. I really liked 1st grade, but I didn't get to go to kindergarten because I was too young. Graham taught me my ABCs, how to count, and how to read, so I guess I didn't need kindergarten, but it would have been fun. They have lots of toys set up in the kindergarten classes and even have little kitchens in there I always wanted to play with. What does feisty mean? It means you have a lot of fire and spunk in you. You say what you think. Inquisitive means you ask a lot of questions. Don't worry, they're both good things, he smiles. Oh, well, then I guess I'm feisty and inquisitive then, I say, and Turner laughs. Inquisitive is really hard to say. I have to say it really slow. Why did your Graham teach you all that? Because she wants me to be smart, and she said she wants me to do something with myself when I grow up. I wonder why he wants to know why Graham wants me to learn things. Why wouldn't she? Maybe he isn't very smart. No, I mean, why is your Graham, your grandmother, teaching you instead of your mom? Oh, my mama don't live here. She lives in Dallas with her husband, Bill. Why don't you live with them? He asked, sounding confused and squinting his eyes again. My mama had me when she was in high school, so I stayed with Graham and Gramps while she finished school and went to college. Then, when she finished and moved to be with her husband, Bill, she didn't want to take me away from them and my home, the place where I grew up. So I stayed. Plus, they always wanted more kids, but could only have mama, so I'm kind of their kid in a way, I tell him. He moved to Florida before I was born. Oh, wait a minute. So I'm kind of like their kid in a way, I tell him. Your dad doesn't mind you living with them? He moved to Florida when I was born. He was new at Mama's school and he left in the middle of the year because his dad got a new job there. By the time Mama found out I was going to be born, he'd already moved. She said he was very nice, but he was too young to be a daddy. Mama said since I have her, Graham, and Gramps, I have more people who love me than most kids, so I don't really need a daddy like other little girls might. I guess she's right, but it would still be nice. Wow, I thought my situation was complicated. Your story is way more interesting than someone's parents getting a divorce. I think your mom's right. It sounds like you really do have plenty of people who want and love you. That's really nice, so you're a lucky little girl, he smiles at me, then asks, do you like living with your grandparents? Yeah, they're great. They're really smart, funny, and nice. Graham is a really good cook, and Gramps can fix anything that ain't working. Do you ever see your mom? Yeah, she comes and visits sometimes, and I get to talk to her on the phone too. I color her pictures and try to write her letters too, but my writing is still kind of hard for grown-ups to read. But I'm getting better, I tell him. You know, you seem feisty and inquisitive too. He starts laughing really hard and comes over to push me on the swing again. I guess he thinks I'm funny, but I'm not sure why. Jared always thinks I'm funny too. We finish swinging and talking, and then we start walking around the house. He said he's seen the burnt parts inside the windows too, but he don't think it's scary like I do. We go sit on the front porch swing and his legs touch the floor. He's way bigger than me or Jared. How tall are you? I ask. You seem really tall for a boy. I'm 5'11". I've grown faster than most boys and they don't think I'm done growing yet. Everyone says I should try to play pro basketball with as fast as I'm growing, but I don't want to do that as a career. I like it for fun, but that isn't what I want to do for the rest of my life. Then what do you want to do when you grow up? I asked Turner, because I think Jared would really like to play pro basketball. I don't know why Turner wouldn't. I'm going to be a pilot. I want to fly and build airplanes. My dad works at the airport in Houston, but he doesn't work with planes. He works in airport security, making sure people are safe. But he takes me with him sometimes, and I watch the planes take off and land all day. I can't wait to fly in a plane. He gets so excited talking about the planes, his whole face looks different with a really big smile. That'll be fun, but kind of scary. Airplanes are so high up. I don't know anyone who has ever been in a plane before. Don't you think it's going to be really hard to fly a plane? Do you think you can do it? Who will teach you? I have to keep making really good grades so I can get into the Air Force. The Air Force is kind of like the Army, but instead of driving tanks, they fly planes. They'll teach me how to fly and build planes while I'm there. My dad already got me a book about them and a bunch of brochures from them so I could read about it. They have cool pictures of planes in them too. The Air Force has all kinds of planes, even jets that land on ships on the water. I might fly those. A jet is actually a type of engine in a plane, but we call planes with jet engines, jets, he says, getting really excited again. It's fun to see him so excited talking about these planes. He looks like Jared when he's talking about fishing or hunting. Do you have this Air Force stuff with you? I'd like to see it. If you can get it, I ask. Yes, I can bring it tomorrow if you'll be here, he says, nodding his head. Okay, that sounds good. I'll be here in the morning after I eat and get dressed. Do you like to fish? No, I don't really know how. I've never gone fishing before. We buy our fish. We've always lived in the city, not like out here, he says, looking around and waving his arms. That's okay. Jared can teach you if you're here when he gets back. He taught me. He's really good at it. I wonder if he's having fun fishing right now. I hope he's already caught lots of fish. I'm sure I'll hear all about it when he gets back. I can't wait. Maybe, he says, but I probably won't be here long enough to really do much fishing. I'm sure my mom will be coming to get me soon. We spend the rest of the day exploring around the property, swinging on the porch and talking. I need to get home to eat. I don't want Graham worried about me, so I tell Turner bye and that I'll see him here tomorrow to see his book about planes and all of his Air Force stuff. He's heading back to his uncle's house too, so we start walking away in different directions, and he turns back and says, I had fun talking to you today, Dawn. You're a very smart and interesting little girl. And don't forget, feisty and inquisitive, I say, as I wave and turn to head home. I can hear him laughing as I'm walking away. He has a nice laugh. I really miss Jared, but I'm glad that tomorrow I can come out and play with Turner. It gets so lonely without Jared here. I'll be really glad when he gets back from fishing. The next chapter is chapter 5, called Tiki. Again, this is Alice Cangemi. I'm the author of The Darkness Before Dawn. And if you would like to see more on The Darkness Before Dawn, you can look for more videos. I'm not sure how many I'll be making. And you can go to thedarknessbeforedawn.com to find out more. Thank you very much.